I mean, Terence Crawford has had an amazing career against a lot of very good fighters and world-class fighters, and honestly has barely lost a round. When you look back at Bud Crawford's career, there is something really special.
I say there's nothing to do, but damn, like, what else do you gotta do? he's a three-time undisputed champion.
Hey man, you looking small. What you mean I'm looking small? You looking small. Like, it's just that, like, you gotta really hurt that dude to turn him away and to try to stop him from doing what he want to do. So skillful, yes, but this and this.
Yeah.
Fighters are afraid of Terence Crawford for many reasons. Even Roy Jones Jr. said that Canelo looked nervous just standing across from him during their face-off. What makes Crawford so scary isn't only his skill, but also the way he stays calm while studying every move. He almost never gets hit clean, and he punishes every mistake with perfect timing, leaving his opponents feel like they have no chance to win.
And that stare down that we talked about when I told you either he's not ready for this or he's trying to little boy Bud. He wasn't trying to little boy Bud. He really was afraid. Well, not afraid, but he was worried about Bud. And Bud knew that. And Bud being the older guy, Bud kind of looked him in his eye and made him turn away first. That was a victory for Bud. That was Bud's first victory. Anytime that happens, if something else don't come around or something else don't happen to undo that, you got a problem.
Paulie Malignaggi praised Terence Crawford for building one of the most remarkable records in boxing. Crawford became an undisputed champion 3 different times, which is almost unheard of in modern boxing. He did it by fighting top opponents instead of choosing easy fights. What impressed Paulie the most wasn't just Crawford's wins, but the way he avoided damage, rarely getting hit clean while dominating his opponents. His career record says it all: 41 wins, 31 knockouts, and no losses. Paulie called his run historic and said Crawford's recent victory over Canelo was more than just another win. To him, it marked the beginning of a new era, much like when Floyd Mayweather once dominated his time. In Paulie's eyes, Crawford has now become the defining figure of this generation.
Flawless. I mean, Terence Crawford has had an amazing career against a lot of very good fighters and world-class fighters, and honestly has barely lost a round. When you look back at Bud Crawford's career, there is something really special. It's one of those things now, because now I've now seen back-to-back generations of Floyd Mayweather and Bud Crawford, and man, you know, it's one of those things where now I understand why the people that lived in the Ray Leonard era say, you know, oh, wish we could see Ray Leonard against Mayweather and how that would be. Because it just leaves such an empty feeling when you have such special fighters that were in different generations, and you saw both of them. You know, I saw the entirety of the Mayweather generation. I saw the entirety of the Bud Crawford generation. Just incredible. Really, really incredible. And I know Mayweather gets a lot of hate, but for me, he's a tremendous fighter. And Terence Bud Crawford is in that realm as well. And it's a fight we'll never get to see. So what are we going to do, you know? It'll be up to the fantasy fights, you know. But let's get into it, man. I want to get into the undercard as well and some of my thoughts on the Netflix show. But let's get into the main event first. Crawford really boxed very, very well, very, very intelligently. The question mark was what happens when Crawford gets hit cleanly. I'm not sure he got hit cleanly at the whole fight. You know, he got hit with some partial shots. Some shots landed cleanly, but by the time Canelo started landing anything cleanly, I think he was hesitant because he was getting countered so much that he was taking some of the steam off the shots in order to hope to be more accurate. Because even late in the fight, there were a couple of shots that Canelo landed, but they barely moved.
Brian said it was extraordinary to watch Terence Crawford against Canelo, noting that it's rare to see such a perfect balance of defense and offense in modern boxing. Most fighters are strong in one area but leave the other exposed. Crawford, however, showed both with remarkable sharpness. Against Canelo, he proved he could block attacks with tight defense and slick movement, then instantly switched to offense to punish every opening. Brian explained that this complete package is what sets Crawford apart from many other champions. He can shut down an opponent's weapons while building his own momentum. For him, it was incredible to see a fighter not only avoid damage, but also dominate an elite opponent with such calm and skill.
See, I think that for me, I watch defense as much as I watch offense. So
Yeah.
like I thought like watching Bud catch those shots off his glove,
He looked amazing.
so amazing.
Yeah,
to
he
me.
looked good.
Yeah.
He
He'd
looked
go to a
great.
body and he'd catch that and come up with an uppercut. You know, just all those things that seem.
He looked great.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody do that to ever.
No one has. Yeah, he's the best.
Canelo.
Yeah,
Ever.
he's the best.
And I think he would do that to Canelo on his best day. Canelo said it. He goes, I couldn't figure him out.
No.
Which is why he probably won't fight him again. In a way.
They'll fight again.
You think so?
The payday, yeah. But so you're going to get Canelo, because the money's in Canelo Crawford, the rematch.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it, but I want Crawford to get paid, so might as well do it.
Andre Ward gave Crawford high praise, calling him the most skillful fighter of his generation. Ward, known as a master technician in his own era, highlighted Crawford's mentality, saying that once Terence sets his mind on something, he will do whatever it takes to achieve it. According to Ward, the only way to stop a fighter like Crawford is to truly hurt him in the ring, because strategy alone will never be enough. Crawford's adaptability, his ability to switch stances and think clearly under pressure, places him in a rare class of fighters who can impose their will in any situation. Ward's view makes it clear that Crawford's success isn't by chance. It comes from determination, grit, and relentless commitment to overcoming every challenge.
Somebody that, like, I can bet the house on is Bud.
Who's the most skilled fighter today?
Bud is definitely one of them, for sure. Me and him, we so much alike in our mentality. Like, soon as I see this dude, he come in the room or I come in the room, we start arguing about basketball, wrestling, anything, bro. Like, man, you can't, man, you looking small. What you mean I'm looking small? You looking small. Like, it's just that, like, you got to really hurt that dude to turn him away and to try to stop him from doing what he want to do. So, skillful, yes. But this and this, it's different, man.
Crawford's journey has also been deeply personal, shaped by the influence of his family. He often recalls how his father predicted early on that he would one day become an undisputed world champion, planting belief in him from the start. His mother, however, was more doubtful and never fully convinced he would reach the top. Instead of discouraging him, that doubt became his fuel. Every time Crawford stepped into the ring, he carried a drive to prove her wrong. With each victory and every title, he not only fulfilled his father's vision, but also earned his mother's pride. Today, he looks back on that journey with satisfaction, proud that his success has brought both validation and respect from his family.
To tell my mom I was going to be a world champ.
I told me we wouldn't be.
How'd that make you feel? It filled me with rage. And every time I stepped foot in the ring or anything that I ever did, I just wanted to win so bad so I can prove a point to her.
I paid the kids, I said, if y'all can whoop Bud, I give y'all $10 a piece. Could none whoop him.
You went out on the street.
Yeah.
What's now Bud Crawford Street.
Yeah.
And offered $10 to anyone who can kick my son's butt.
Yep.
And a lot of takers.
Yeah, the kids in the neighborhood. Couldn't nobody whoop him.
What did he tell you then?
He told you, Mom, I told you I'm the best.
Reflecting on his career choices, Crawford explained that he never aimed to become undisputed at 154 pounds because he didn't see enough tough competition in that division. For him, being undisputed isn't just about collecting belts, but about doing it against the best opponents available. Instead of staying at 154, he made the bold decision to chase opportunities at 168, where he believes the challenges are greater and the name stronger, fights that could further secure his legacy. Crawford's refusal to move down shows his confidence in testing himself at higher weight classes, making sure his career is remembered for risk-taking and ambition, not comfort and easy wins.
Has being undisputed at 154 ever crossed your mind at this point that you at in your career?
Not at all, because I'm looking at the landscape of the 154-pound division. There's a lot of great fighters, but there's not a lot of defining fights at 154. There's not a lot of legacy fights at 154. You know, when I'm looking at the landscape of 154, I beat, what's his name?
Majimov? No, 154?
No. The champion that just knocked out Tim Tszyu.
Oh, Bachram.
Yeah. Okay, so Bachram, they're going to say, who is Bachram?
Facts.
He knocked out Tim Tszyu that already had losses.
What would you do with Fedora, though?
Fedora already been knocked out.
Yeah, he did.
So, along my career, I've been criticized and people have taken credit away from me just to try to diminish my accomplishments just off of pure hate.
Crawford has also taken moments to show off the belts he has earned, not as empty bragging, but as proof of what years of dedication and hard work have given him. Each belt represents more than just a win. It carries the struggles and sacrifices behind it. For Crawford, Standing with those titles is a way to remind both fans and critics that nothing was handed to him. He fought through tough opponents, doubt, and challenges to earn every piece of gold on his shoulders. His belt symbolized effort, discipline, and belief in himself, while also serving as motivation for the next generation of fighters who hope to follow in his footsteps.
I'm just reflecting on all my accomplishments at my mama house. That's where all my belts at. You know, hard work, dedication. Things that y'all favorite fighters, some of them, haven't got. So I see why y'all mad. See why y'all mad. Ooh, look at that one right there. This where it all started at. Right here. This one. In Texas. In Texas, baby. Don't hate. Just congratulate.
Virgil Ortiz Jr., a rising star himself, gave Crawford huge credit for his most recent fight, calling the performance absolutely beautiful. Ortiz said Crawford proved himself completely in that fight and doesn't even need to chase more opponents to validate his greatness. In his view, Crawford has already secured his legacy and doesn't need new challenges to be remembered as one of the best. Hearing this from a young, ambitious fighter shows just how deeply Crawford's dominance has impressed the new generation, leaving them in awe of what he has already accomplished.
Perfect fight, actually. He neutralized all of Canelo's strengths. He knew that he was going to look for the right hook, because I believe that they've been looking at Crawford being hurt by that right hook before. So he neutralized it. He used his jab really well. He boxed beautifully. And, man, I mean, he did everything right. Yeah.
Now, let's talk about Crawford first, because obviously we can get to Canelo later. But in the post-fight, they asked him, a media member asked him if he'd come back down to 154 to fight Boots. Obviously, in the same token, I took it as, all right, Boots or Virgil, right? And he said he's not coming back down to 154. What are your thoughts on him not coming down, and what do you think he will more than likely do next?
I don't know what he's gonna do. I did read something that said he'll go down to 160. You know, and I think that is definitely a possibility. And you know, that fight can still happen at 160. And as far as what he's gonna do now, I mean, I don't know. He kind of beat the final boss of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's kind of nothing. I don't want to say there's nothing to do, but damn, like, I mean, what else do you got to do? he's a 3-time undisputed champion. He made some good money. At this point, he's just a free player right now, I guess. He can do whatever he wants.
Crawford's impact on boxing has created a ripple effect, with fighters from different divisions now eager to call him out. Sebastian Fundora, known for his height and aggressive style, has already said he wants to face Crawford. This is what some call the Crawford effect. Once a fighter reaches a certain level of dominance, others want to test themselves against him to earn credibility. Now, instead of Crawford chasing fights, opponents are lining up to challenge him. It's a complete role reversal that shows just how much power and influence he holds in the boxing world today.
Effect is in full effect. Okay? It's in full effect. Terence Crawford now is a wanted man. Prior to that, everybody said Terence Crawford is not a draw. Terence Crawford can't sell. Terence Crawford is not a big money fight. Now, we have an interesting situation brewing. The former unified WBA, well, WBO, WBC, junior middleweight world champion, Mexican superstar or star boxer, the Towering Inferno, Sebastian Fundora, refused to fight Terence Bud Crawford, who is now, no doubt, first ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt, the pound for pound king, 5-division world champion, 3-division undisputed world champion, with a record of 42 wins, no loss, no draw, 31 wins by way of knockout. When Terence Crawford dominated and stopped The Truth, Errol Spence Jr., in July of 2023, Terence Crawford petitioned to move up and fight the towering inferno, Sebastian Fundora. Okay? And Sebastian Fundora has zero interest.
Crawford's story isn't just about wins. It's about dominance, resilience, and rewriting the history of boxing right before our eyes. From silencing doubters to inspiring the next generation, he has proven that greatness is earned, not given. And with the boxing world now revolving around him, one question remains. How far can this legacy go? Stay tuned, because the Crawford era has only just begun. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful breakdowns of boxing's biggest moments.